I was sitting here listening to music and I started thinking about something. I remember last year in August, after I graduated high school, on Instagram, I tried to run this experiment, right? I was running this experiment. Now bear with me. This is a story time and this is a history lesson. I'm a history teacher today. I was on Instagram. I found 15, five fingers, 15. Just bear with me. Imagine this is 15, okay? I found 15 pretty white girls. Not to name race. I'm all right, not to name race. I don't like naming race. I don't want to make this seem like I'm race and I'm trying to no. This listen, please. I remember I found 15 beautiful white girls and I followed all 15 of them and I wanted to see if any of them was going to follow me back. And I'm not going to lie, I waited a day. I come back a day later. I went 0 for 15. I got an F on that test. None of them followed me back.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Oh my God. And I was just thinking ever since that day, I was like, wow, they probably think that all black people are really ghetto. They probably think all black people are full of stereotypes, no morals, probably from the hood, whatever the hell they want to call it, the ghetto. Whenever you hear the term the ghetto, do not think of only a race. Like, I want to specify that because I'm going to use the word ghetto a lot in this video. But the word ghetto does not only apply to black people. I hate when society coins a word to a group of people. The word ghetto means poor. You ever heard of the term third or fourth world country? Third and fourth world country is basically living in poverty. That's what ghetto is. Ghetto does not mean only black people. They give that to black people because some black people are crazy. Some black people have no morals. Some black people are just loud. But that's not ghetto. I ain't gonna lie. I blame World War II. I 100% blame World War II. The shit that's going on now realistically started 80 years ago. Now, World War II started in 1939 and ended in 1945. Obviously, we're in 2025, 80 years later, it abolished. But I blame World War II. I 100% blame it. And I have to say it like 50 times because a lot of the stuff that's going on now realistically started with that. Now, we've always had poverty. We've always had poor. We've always had, less quality, low quality. Poverty and destruction has always been here for centuries. But the way society is now did not start until the damages of World War II. So because of what we know World War II is a war. It's the deadliest war in history. It caused hella destruction to cities and structures and land. And during the 1940s, if you think about it, what else was happening during the 1940s? Segregation, duh. So on paper, now in the law, there is no law that says we hate black people, F black people, they ain't shit. On paper, there isn't a law like that. But listen to my point. There is hatred and racism amongst the people who run the system. So what they decided to do is, just give us the scraps and give us the leftovers. Now, I'm not going to lie because that is a part of a history and I know my history. There is segregation. There is Jim Crow. Jim Crow was a law that was actually on paper. But then eventually Jim Crow was abolished. But it was already too late because we were already in the midst of building generations. You know how many generations of people who were born into poverty? We have generations of people who were born in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and in the 50s was the start of Vietnam War. In the 50s, 1955, Vietnam War started, and America was not even supposed to join that shitty-ass war. That had nothing to do with America, but they just wanted to send people over there. A lot of people graduated high school and then immediately had to get drafted into Vietnam War. And then in 1975, Vietnam War ended, but the damage was already too late. So with the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, listen to this. In the 70s and 80s, there was also the war on drugs. Now listen to everything that I just talked about. Segregation, Jim Crow, the ghetto, World War II, Vietnam War, war on drugs. Oh my God, what else is going to happen? There was a trend in the war on drugs. There was a trend in drugs, crime rates in low communities. So like how you know this. Listen to hip hop culture. Listen to hip hop. Listen to any song in hip hop in the 90s and the 80s. Go watch our movies. Baby Boy, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, New Jack City. Do the right thing. You know our history. Listen to that. Go watch it. Go do, you know it. If you're black, all right. So if you did not grow up with a silver spoon in your mouth, a golden spoon in your mouth, or a diamond spoon in your mouth, you know what I'm talking about. If you grew up with real struggles, then you know what I'm talking about. Listen to what our parents said and our grandparents said. We have generations of people who are born in this poverty shit. Poverty, the ghetto, is its own world with its own laws. The government don't attend to the poor communities. The only thing that is successful in the poor communities is the worst. You've been outside, you ride your bikes with your boys, you play outside with your friends. You know black communities, you know our black lands, you know our stores, you know our system, you know our society. What's the word for it? I can't find a word for it, but I'm going to say black society. Like our buildings and our homes, our streets. You know what I'm talking about? The streets. Fuck it. Just say the streets. I don't want to sound like that, but I got to say it. You know our streets. Name me 5 common stores or five common structures of buildings. 5 businesses that you always see on the streets in our hoods besides grocery stores and gas stations. Name me 5. Hint, it's bad. It's all bad for us. Abortion clinics, gun stores, liquor stores, pharmacies. I said 5. This is 4. What else am I missing? I can't remember right now. God damn it, I can't remember right now. But listen, you get my point. You get my point. Why the hell is that so common within our black communities? Well, they want to kill us. They want us gone. They want us to erase each other.
They want us to kill ourselves. You go out to Beverly Hills, you don't see that shit. But they want us to kill ourselves. Yeah, the best way you can destroy a people, you take away their ability to reproduce themselves. Yeah.
Schools. A lot of people don't have an education in school. Schools in poor communities aren't really schools. You're not really getting a proper education. Or a lot of people don't stay in school. A lot of people not focus in school. People with no morals head to school. So school doesn't really feel like a safe place. A lot of people got to watch their back in school. You know the movies that I'm talking about. A lot of crimes go down in school. A lot of problems go down in schools. There has been this built idea. That black people ain't shit. We're full of stereotypes. We don't have anything. We're just blah. We're just toys. We're just fools in their eyes. Now I'm gonna get to a deeper point. I'm gonna bring up something personal. Where I live ain't really shit. Where I live is okay. It's like a 4 out of 10. I already told y'all this. But look at all our homes that are easily accessible now. I'm gonna talk about gentrification later. But look at all our homes that are easily accessible now in black communities, in black standard communities. I'm gonna say standard because they always think the average standard home for a black kid is no father and just an apartment and just blah, 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 blah. Think about the common homes that are here now. It is 2025, obviously. These homes were wealthy homes back in the 1950s, 1960s. These were rich homes 80, 70, 60 years ago. Now they're poor homes for us because now the rich people that was once living here found a way to build new kingdoms, new structures, new castles, and they move into that. Eventually, 100 years from now, that's going to be considered poor homes. And then this is just going to be considered doo-doo. So it's just a domino effect. Listen to what I said. These poor homes that are common now within black communities were considered shit 100 years ago. But now, history changes, they find a way to build something new and they just give us the scraps. Now let's talk about gentrification now. Gentrification is the process of moving out a community out of poor places, building up that new community, putting a price tag on it, and selling it to a new buyer. That's gentrification. And I remember when I first heard about gentrification in school, I thought it was a good thing. Like I said, it was a beautiful thing. I was like, gentrification is nice because it keeps society clean. You're rebuilding area. But listen to this. This is the darkness about gentrification. They take it away from poor people that don't have shit, and they specifically take specific homes. So they leave the horrible, trash-ass homes, the real ghetto, don't attend to that, and it takes specific homes, and they build that up and give it to a specific set of people. Like how I said, they put a price tag on it. They get rid of the culture, they get rid of history, they move everybody out, they don't attend to them, and they just now build this to a new place. So it could go from a neighborhood to a now pharmacy place. It could go from a neighborhood to a now grocery store. It could go from a neighborhood to some new, huge, nice neighborhood for a new set of people who have money. That is basically what our history is in a dark nutshell. The system is just fucking us over left and right. We have generations of children, adults. You know how many adults? Look at our hip hop artists. Look at our actors. ranging from the 80s to the 90s. Look at our hip-hop artists. Listen to it. It goes so deep, my nigga. It goes so deep. We have a generation of people who were born in poverty from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. Like, there's levels to it, man. There's levels to it. You have the ghetto, which is the bottom tier. That's like a 0 out of 10 or 1 out of 10. Rats, roaches. You got to worry about ropes. You got to worry about drugs. You got to worry about serial killers. Then you have a 4 out of 10, which is like where I live. You have a poor area, but it's fine. You could live. You could put your head on your pillow. It's quiet. Some neighborhoods, some neighborhoods is loud. Like, there's no quietness. You got to watch it back. Then you have decent area, a decent house. That's kind of like where certain people that I know live. Yeah. You have a decent house. That's like a 5 out of 10. That's like a decent, cool neighborhood, right? And then you have the nice, spoiled neighborhood. Kind of like what my friend thinks of her mother. I have a friend who's very spoiled, and she thinks of her mother as like Beyonce and always could buy her everything. That's kind of where she lives in. And then there's the wealthy. That's where celebrities live. And there's a bracket of it. Like, there's a bracket of time, even down to 2014. We have kids who were born in the 2000s, like me. We have kids that was born in the 90s, growing up in that still right now. And now we have kids that was born in 2010, 2011, 2014. The hood was strong around those times. Still strong now. So, what is the ghetto? What is Black history? Black history is full of success. Black history is full of love. Black history is full of compassion, but it's also full of stereotypes. That's why I gave you that story at the start of the video. I gave you that story for a reason at the start of the video, because those girls probably thought of me that I wasn't shit because I had dreads in my hair, but they don't even know who I am. Like, it's filled with misconception. It's filled with, like, being poor back then was horrible. Now, I already named the levels of being poor. Like, me on the scales out of 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. It's not bad, but it's good. I could lay my head at. I got space. I got food in my fridge. I'm really thankful. I'm content with what I have. But I don't have a kingdom like Beyonce do. You get what I'm saying? So where I live is lit. It's lit because I could be quiet. I'm safe. I'm good. I don't got no scars on my body. But I'm good. I'm not scared. There's no rapists nearby. You know, shit, police be over here too. Police be over here a lot of times. Nigga, that's everywhere in Black communities. But it could be better, obviously. Being poor in the 90s, in the 80s, and in the 70s is horrific because you don't know when you're going to get your next meal. You got to watch out for crime. You got to watch out for people you don't know nothing about. Like, being poor then, being in the ghetto then compared to being in the ghetto now is completely different. Even though ghetto has been the same throughout history, when you just don't have materialism and you don't have money and you're just stressing about life, that's always going to be the same, but there's levels to it. There's a point I'm trying to get to. So now in 2025, now in the 2010s, 2015, 2018, 2017, 2014, 2011, the late 2000s, now we have devices. Now we have something called phones. We have some bit of electronics. We have something different than back then. Even though people back then will probably consider what we have now to be gods. They'd be like, what? You got a phone? What the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? If people were to even live to see this day back then who didn't make it to see this. But I'm getting to a point. Now, being poor back then is scary. Because me as a Black person, I love the 80s. Me as a Black Jamaican, I love 80s, I love 90s, I love the 70s. I want to see how it is. I want to time travel. But I'm thinking about our history. I have to have money. And the common destruction that society has done to us, the common outlook in our history is that we ain't shit. So what's my point? What am I trying to get to? I'm saying that being poor then, they realistically didn't have anything. You had to go outside and play with your friends. You couldn't be on your phone. Now we have phones to try to make a living. Now we have things where we have social media. Now there's different ways, different chances that we could take in life to be different people. They didn't have that back then. Back then, you had to go to school, had to go to college, or they'd stereotype you as some rapper or some shit. You know how they do us. But I'm trying to get to a deeper point. Ever since now that phones have taken over the kids in any community, it could be rich communities, it could be any ethnic community, any skin color community. Now that we have phones, these phones can be used as beacons of weapons, technology. These things can be used to push agendas, and these things can be used to do anything. Now we have phones to mislead the community. Our culture, what the hell am I doing? Our culture is completely tarnished now because of phones. I already made a video talking about black social media and black stereotypes that's given to us. Look at our history. Look now. History is what has already happened. Look what's been going on for the past 10 years. Our history is fucking destroyed. So now that we have phones now, all these fake ass celebrities and now these fake ass rappers are now using the internet and social media on phones to mislead the youth, push certain agendas, emasculate men, the life of the beast, OnlyFans. Now we have OnlyFans that are targeting girls now. Like, earlier on Instagram, I went to go check out Instagram just a little bit, even though Instagram don't be working on my phone. I went to go see if it'll work this time. It worked a little bit. There's this girl that I follow. She's like a friend of my friends, like my friend of my cousin, a friend of my friends in the area. I know her, but I don't know her. You know when you clean up your page on Instagram and to impress a girl? That's what I was doing. And she got an OnlyFans in her bio. Now, I think she's class of 2025. I think she just graduated this year. Nigga, she got an OnlyFans in her bio. That's a young hoe in the making. That's what I'm talking about in black communities. Now, she's pretty. Like, I might tap. I'm just going to be real. She's beautiful. But, like, you got an OnlyFans in your bio, money? That's tough. What? Come on. You know what I'm saying? I try to clean up my page and put on my best pics to pull 15 white girls to see if they'll like me. They probably stereotyped me. They probably thought I wasn't shit. And now I'm looking at some different, I'm looking at my ethnic group. I'm looking at my colored people. And you got OnlyFans in your bio? They just toying with us. They don't think we ain't shit. What is going on? I'm sorry. I told you it was going to be a quick history lesson. I know. If you made it to this time in the video, thank you for watching. But this is what my mind be doing sometimes. I'm in my basement listening to music. Music be making my mind. Time travel. Like, our history. Look at our hip-hop culture. Look at our movies. Look at our history. Look at everything that your parents said. Like, oh my God. And there's so much, too. This topic could go down into 50 different videos. Again, this is one of those things. So this is just me talking. Sometimes I like to talk about history. I love history. History is a beautiful thing. I used to love math. When I was in school, math was my favorite subject. Math, I was a whiz at math. But then in high school, I started slacking. I think, why I started slacking with math? Because my dumbass school decided to have a Jamaican teach me math. What are you doing? Why are you making one of my peoples teach me math? Never make a Jamaican teach math. That's like trying to make someone who's Chinese teach German. What? No, that is not how it's going to work. You try to make a Jamaican teach math? She didn't teach it to me right. That's why I didn't get it. I'm like, this is not hard. I have to try to teach myself, but then I'm forgetting. When you have a teacher who best teach me math, I now know it now. That's why you the reason why I'm not good at math no more. I blame you. I'm not going to say her name, but I'm thinking of her face. That's tough. Damn, you the reason why I'm not good at math anymore. So history became my favorite. And I already told you, I love vintage. That's the kind of the reason why I made this video. I love the 50s. I like the 60s. I like the 70s. I like the 80s. Somebody just flushed the toilet. Water's coming down the pipe. That's tough. It's messed up because I like vintage. I like the past, but it's completely scary for black people. Society has destroyed us. They used Jim Crow. Now they're using agendas in 2025. And then they used the ghetto. They gave the ghetto communities to black people and threw them off. We literally are we're still in the slave system. Then we got jobs. Oh my God, how bad can it get? Man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This video wasn't supposed to be the way that it is. I was supposed to have my phone mounted and I was supposed to talk to y'all and then just read off some notes. I ain't gonna lie. I had a midlife crisis. I doubted myself. I keep doing that lately. That's tough. And I just deleted the videos and took off my clothes. I wasn't even supposed to have this bonnet on, but I got so deep into what I was saying, I was like, fuck it, just make another video. There's so much to talk about. I ain't gonna lie. Like how I just said, I deleted the video. I had notes on this. I deleted the notes. I don't even remember what I was supposed to say. I was supposed to say a lot of things. Not just that. I didn't name anything. I just named 6 topics. But I was supposed to talk about 50 million different things. There's so much to talk about. I talked about the war on... Did I talk about the war on drugs? No, I don't even remember. But in the 70s and 80s, there was a war on drugs. Then drugs are so common in low communities. I talked about the stores that's in our communities. I talked about the music. I talked about our hip hop history. I talked about just the history of our culture. I talked about World War II, the ghetto. I talked about the 50s, poverty, the struggles, what you see on stores. They want us to kill ourselves. I talked about it all. But there's so much more that I'm missing. There's so much more I just don't remember right now. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about with how the government, how society has deteriorated over time, how society has targeted a group of black people. Man, it's so crazy to see the world is like on paper, Jim Crow has been abolished. It doesn't say anything about racism and segregation. But the people who run the matrix are demons and they don't care about us. So what they do is they still give us the scraps no matter what. And now they got the nerve to use social media as a weapon to get us. Like I already talked about social media. There's all types of agendas on this fucking phone. Like low, poor quality, like people who grow up, who didn't grow up with a silver spoon in their mouth. They get a phone, they hop on social media, they're gonna see crazy shit, and then it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, man. I like history. I could talk about history forever. There's so much to talk about. So much has happened in the past 2,000 years, man. So much happened in 2,000 years. So much happened in 200 years. There's a lot to talk about. 500 years. 50 years. There's a lot to talk about, man. Earlier today, I was watching Ferris Bueller. And obviously, Ferris Bueller is 1986. That's the 80s. And I love the 80s. I got 80s videos coming up in the future. But I wanted to see what was really going on with black people in the 80s. So I wanted to go do some research. Now, I know about our celebrities. I know about Michael Jackson. I know about Oprah, Bill Cosby. Those are wealthy celebrities. I didn't want to just talk about celebrities. I wanted to talk about, is there really any deeper, popular, wealthy black people in the 80s? I don't want to talk about mafia. I don't want to talk about hip-hop. I just want to see what else was going on. And I found this businessman. His name is Reginald Lewis. Now, his name did sound familiar, but I don't really hear too much about him. People don't really talk about him. I don't know why. But I looked him up. It said that he built a fortune in the 80s through 90s and he passed away. But he got a lot of money. And it's just cool to see, like, our black people go crazy. But in a way, it's scary because you have to have money in the 80s because otherwise you're going to be growing up in the ghetto. You're going to be struggling. You're going to try to get through, find your next meal, poverty. It's so bad. It reminded me of the song "The Devil Made Me Do It." It came out in 1990. It's a great song. It talks about the hood in the 80s. It talks about the struggle. It is completely dark and satanic how the system works. It's scary. So you have to have money to have something good, but society doesn't help you with that. That's why people used to riot back in the day. You know how much riots there was back in the 60s, in the 80s? That's why people rioted in Miami in 1965. People rioted when MLK had died in 1968, and that's during Vietnam War. And then people were rioting back in 1992. The reason why LA riots happened in 1992 was because the cops that had beat Rodney King were acquitted. So people started the LA riots in 1992. Now we have LA riots in 2025, but it's a completely different story. These riots now is because of immigration and stuff like that. But you get my point. People used to riot and protest to make for a change, to go for a change, because in the 50s and 60s is the most crucial times. Something was happening in the 50s and 60s. Even though Jim Crow was in the midst of getting abolished, something happened right there. So I blame World War II. The fact that World War II caused the ghettos, caused destruction, and then the racist dark system moved communities into that and then threw us off. Then there's gentrification. Then there's all types of shit that I named in this video. But shit, I hope you get my point. This is a long ass video, I know. This is a vlog. Look, this is what my mindset be doing on random nights. CT out.